When Hitler came into power, his charisma made his people adore him. The youth of Germany especially praised Hitler. They truly believed that his intentions were for the best and that he would make the fatherland a better place. Many young kids started to join the Hitler Youth groups in the 1920s, where they were trained to be loyal Nazis. Hitler Youth was organized into corps under adult leaders. Education served to indoctrinate students with the National Socialist worldview. Instruction aimed to produce race-conscious, obedient Germans willing to die for the fatherland. The main focus of the German schools were to spread racial and political propaganda to the German youth. The only kids that could join were faithful, pure Aryans. Anything that wasn't Aryan was forbidden. By 1933, its membership stood at 100,000 faithful children. Just 3 years later, it stood at 4 million. There were a few members of the Hitler Youth who secretly were against Nazi ideologies. However, that same year, it became mandatory to join the Hitler Youth group if you met the requirements. The Hitler Youth's motto was Blut und Ehre, which means blood and honor.
The Hitler Youth catered for 10 to 18-year-olds. Boys 10 to 12 belonged to the Deutsches Jungvolk, or the German young people. When they turned 13, they transferred to the Hitlerjugend, or the Hitler Youth. They remained until 18. There were also separate organizations for girls. Girls at the age of 10 joined the Jugendmodelbund, or the League of Young Girls. At 14, the girls were transferred to the Bund Deutscher Mädel, or the League of German Girls. The girls had to be able to run 60 meters in 14 seconds and were taught how to be a mother.
The leader of the Hitler Youth was Baldur von Schirach. His goal was to eliminate all 400 of the other youth organizations that were competing with the Hitler Youth. Schirach sent 50 Hitler Youth into the Berlin offices of the Committee of German Youth Association, an organization that represented 6 million German kids involved in tons of different youth programs. This enabled the Hitler Youth to control every youth organization in Germany. Once Hitler Youths turned 18, they were required to join the army either as a stormtrooper or serve the fatherland in a different way. Many kids were craving action and desire to help their country. Many kids felt the Hitler Youth was a way to escape their own home.
Many Hitler Youth were trained in rifle shooting and military field exercises. The Hitler Youth was so popular because it was something for everybody. Many decided to do standard military training, but there were also a special branch for special Hitler Youth who wanted to be paramilitary. They would build and fly gliders, and they would also visit Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, and would take rides in fighters and bombers. A 12-mile march was considered a mere nothing for boys who are trained until they can make a march of 50 miles without any other food than the concentrated ration they carry in their packs. In 1940, Arthur Axmann took responsibility of the Hitler Youth.
The girls did not serve Germany as soldiers, but they did help the war effort. They collected donations, gathered clothing, and prepared care packages to the soldiers. After the war, the Allied forces disbanded the Hitler Youth. Young leaders of the Hitler Youth were not charged with crimes, even with evidence, for they were children. The German youth was critical for Hitler's political success. Without support of the German people, there wouldn't be anybody to enforce Hitler's laws and spread his ideology. Children in the Hitler Youth were essentially brainwashed to idolize Hitler and his doings. Hitler attempted to eliminate any opposition in his people by making his ideologies part of everyday life, even for children.